welcome to another episode of Business Beat with me, Odette. Today, I'm visiting the iconic Constitution Hill, a landmark heritage site right here in Joburg CBD. And with me are two very talented designers, Lorena and Sofiso. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here on Business Beat. You guys are young designers.
Yeah.
More than just being designers, you're also entrepreneurs. So how did you go from being students fresh out of design school into being entrepreneurs, and not just any entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs who happen to be part of the collaboration and the design team of this amazingly beautiful, vibrant, creative space here at Con Hill.
I started out this entrepreneurial, creative process. I actually love history. It started there. So my love and passion for the African continent, its heritage, where we come from, and its multicultural, there's such an array of culture on this continent, and I felt like I needed a way to sort of document it. I used both my interior design and product design skills, and now my pattern design skills to sort of document the history of various tribes on the continent and focusing on the best qualities of each tribe and sort of capturing the essence of these tribes and displaying them in what I call modern visual archives and physical archives.
This space represents we the people of South Africa, and what was important in the brief for us was to capture that in the spirit of the space and how it looks and how it feels and how it makes you feel. Like, for instance, behind me are these screens that are transparent, where everyone is seen, where everyone is valued. But on the topic of, the business of design, you kind of just fall into it. I remember when I started this, it was more of like documenting and sharing, and then people started having interest and like, hey, how much is it? That's when the shocker kicks in. Now you're having to think, how do I price this? Who do I go to? How do I finish it? And then that journey starts where you start learning the business of design, about materials, about packaging stuff, making sure it gets to the client on time, meeting deadlines. So it grows, and I definitely think that you'll be forever on a journey of growing, but it's definitely been like a roller coaster, but also there's so much of growth from it.
So it's not just about being creative enough and skilled at design. You've got to have a whole lot of other skills, from what I'm understanding. So how did you acquire these skills? Like, how do you know how to run your business?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think I speak for the both of us when I say that, Nando's, the initiative that they started, plays a huge role.
This is the Cloud Initiative, right?
This is the Cloud Initiative.
Right.
So with Cloud, they created this creative platform, should I put it, and it has also a business side to it, so a business program that has been specifically tailored for the design industry.
So as a creative, you can get all the skills you need, mentorship, business skills,
because we're not like
entrepreneurship,
other corporates, right?
Yeah.
Certain things do not align with us.
Right.
Like
Stuff like IP, like you grow up and you understand that your stories have like a value to it.
Yes.
Stuff you
And
do
people will
say.
steal your designs, this intellectual property. You come up with an idea, you express that idea and call it like a certain pattern. Somebody sees it and they think, oh, I like that. Let me just replicate that. But it's yours.
It's mine.
Right.
It's the research involved in that, and understanding just the paperwork. I think for me, the most challenging part, especially because I'm a creator, has been the paperwork, the admin. I'm still not a fan of it, but the more you grow, the more I understand, like, you spend now 70% to 60% doing emails and codes, and then the other 40%, being creative. And I think when you find the balance between the two, it becomes an amazing journey, and that's how you learn, you really grow.
How have you taken your creative talent to corporates and shown them how they can incorporate your designs, your work, the product of your beings and your businesses in their spaces?
you have to learn the power of negotiation, and you shouldn't be too shy. If you think, your design, your value, exactly. If you think your design is worth $1 million, listen, keep it at $1 million. Don't move.
Because this is we're talking ancient history here. We're talking
Exactly.
so much, and we're talking your time and putting this thing together. So I definitely, from the words of like Tracy, it's definitely a dancing in new tango, and it's back and forth. And really it's getting to a point where both parties are really happy with the decision that's being made, because I think also as a creative and as a business, you don't want to sit and do a project and not want to do the project for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
It really messes with your emotional intelligence when
Right.
you're here, but you're not really here.
So you spoke about in your patterns.
Yes.
What are these patterns? Talk to us about how you've made your designs come to life in patterns.
So I usually start my design process with research. I read history books and I love watching documentaries.
A lady after my own heart.
Watching any documentary on ancient Africa, on ancient tribes, on ancient civilizations, that is a huge passion of mine, and that's where I get to see the different cultural motifs. I get to learn about where these people come from, who are they, what did they eat, what did they wear, what are these beads made of, So I grab inspiration even from African architecture, which is hardly ever touched on, but we actually had, African architecture. So
And a lot of people look at it and just see it as colors. They don't understand that everything represents something quite specific.
Exactly.
Yes.
So for instance, this is one of my patterns that we just launched from a collection.
And I'm loving it.
So we literally just launched this, and this specific pattern was inspired by the Tsonga culture. And we include all these colors. So the whole concept was the My Altitude collection was inspired by the people of the North, and that is the people of Limpopo.
For young people who are so misunderstood in the schooling system that is so rigid and is not designed for enhancing creative talent, how do young people express their creativity constructively and then take a step into the design world where they know not only can they now express this talent, but they can commercialize it, they can make a business of it?
I think the schooling system still needs more work, but varsities are doing a good job. I think maybe what we need more in varsities is the business of design and just not the theory side of it.
A lot more.
Understanding the taxes, understanding copyrights, understanding IP.
How to register companies.
Absolutely, yeah.
What is the one piece of advice you'd like to give corporate clients who are buying pieces of design?
Buy more South African.
Right.
Buy more South African is number one. Let's grow together, or help us grow. And I think the third one is, let's just build South Africa. I think I'm passionate about just this country going up because I feel like there's so much of great potential that's not being utilized, and I think corporate can play a big role in helping in that. If it works with the right people, and we have this one vision of we growing this country, we're getting our GDP up, we're creating jobs, and we're just taking it to the top. So I definitely think it's a tango, and corporate must just buy more local.
Guys, everything of the best.
Thank you.
I wish you every success in your individual journeys, in your business journeys, and I am so, so in awe of what you are doing. Your work isn't just beautiful. I think that your journeys and the pieces that you are creating and the contribution that you are making to the South African history is beautiful. To anybody who is a creative, if you feel like you need to express your creativity in places, in spaces, and with things that people might not understand, you need to expand your geography, not just mentally and physically, but look at what is available out there in terms of competitions, in terms of art galleries. Go onto social media, go onto the internet, look up other young designers and see what they are doing. Perhaps there's a little something in there for you. Perhaps you're the next Gloria and Sifiso, and you can be a contributor to the South African landscape in terms of design and creativity and, of course, entrepreneurship. Until next time.